Hello, good morning, good noon, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Gundla Show. And today we'll have a full review of the HG GOUF Custom from Mobile Suit Gundam, the 08 MS team. This kit includes 7 runners with deep poly cups and a small size sheet of foil stickers for color correction and a wire for its gimmicks. So here is the manual of the kit, and it is the typical and the basic instruction manual for an HG kit. The final look of this build was very amusing. It is a bulky and phenomenal, even it is already a decade in age. It has a sharp details on every part as it represents its anime counterpart. It looks very savage, especially those spikes on its shoulders. A goof is like a powered up Zaku, but it's no Zaku boy. Those holes that was attached on its head and the waist connected to its backpack really adds the aesthetics to the kit. It also has that clear orange part below the chest near the waist. In color accuracy wise, it is not perfect, but those locking in colors can be supplied by painting process if you want to. I will mention the painted parts in the later part of the video. The only stickers that you will have here were the Mono Eye sticker and the scope sticker on the 3-barrel 35mm machine gun. But you can also use to paint those parts if you want to. But at this time, I choose to use these stickers because it's okay and very effective in terms in aesthetics. You've got a lot of panel line opportunity starting from the head to shoulders, arms, hands, waist, skirts, legs, and feet. And don't forget those hoses. It will pop out its details once you panel line those. Seam lines not quite visible for those cons will be an advantage, for it becomes like a separating armor gaps that you can also apply some panel lines to pop out its details. You can find this on the legs of the unit. Nub marks were not so obvious, but as usual, just be careful on the dark colored parts like the gray and the dark blue parts where it tends to have more nub marks. Now let's have its articulation. Okay, so now let's have the articulation of the GOUF Custom right here. So we have first the head. The head can, there's a little bit up and down right there, and then it can face to the left and right, but I don't think it can go, it can go 360, but because of the form of the head, there's some limited movements, but it has this double joint which is can do the chicken neck also. So that's good for the head. No movements on the antenna and on the hose at the side of the head. So that's it for the articulation of the head of the GOUF Custom. Next is the shoulders, arms, and the hands right here. So as you can see, these shoulder armors can flap and move. Yeah, as you can see, same. So the purpose of this mechanism is to, when it bends, these arms, it can go forward more, because if it is in this mode only, it will be, the armor right here will be a hindrance to the movement of the arms. So that's why it has this movement to make this movement right here, but your arms can only go up in this side and it's only a shoulder level. Okay, and then the elbow can go bend, it's 90-degree only, so not so flexible or articulated. Okay, so now let's go to the hands, which is keeping pops out. Hands can rotate, the rest can rotate. There's no movement of the fingers right here. This is the open palm, and then the same at this part also. It can also rotate, and then there's no other movement. It can move forward. I forgot that it can move forward and backward of the shoulder of your GOUF. And the same with other kits, it can also rotate 360. Next is the hips and the waist. Let's see if it is a movement There's a little bit movement right there. You can twist a little bit left and right, but you cannot go 360 for this thing because of the connection of the hose right here on the waist going to your backpack. As you can see right here, if you move it, the hose also moves according to the movement of the waist. Ab crunch, yeah, just a little bit of it. There's not so extravagant movement or articulation for that. Then let's have the side skirts, and expect that the side skirt is not so movable. Yeah, just a little bit of it, very little. Okay, front skirts, yeah, little bit also, but not that like the other kits that can really move upward and downward of their skirts. But right here, just a little bit of motion and nothing more, nothing less. The back skirt, still the same. It's not a premium backflap. Okay, so next is the legs. Okay, so because of the hindrance of these parts, the kicking of your GUF right here is also limited, as you can see right there. You can also kick on that part. Yeah, that's it, nothing more, nothing less. At the back, yep, it can't also move too much. Yeah, it has a mechanism right here which connects it at your thigh right here, which it has a movement right here. It cannot, I think it can, yeah, it can go 360. It can go 360, as you can see. And then the bend of the knee, it has a good bend, but still limited in movement. Next, the sides of this feet right here, it can also tilt left and right. It can move up and down, which is good. And yeah, I think there's nothing more. And it can also move a little bit down on this part right here. So that is the articulation of our GUF. And now at the back, nothing, there's nothing articulated parts right there. Now let's go to its accessories articulation, if there is. But yeah, as you know, this accessory right here, the shield with this very nice Gatling gun, it doesn't have its own articulation. You just need to attach this to the left side of the hands, or the left hand or left arm of your GUF Custom. Yeah, okay, so that's it. Then right here, this 35mm gun or machine gun, there's one articulation right here. I think there's two. This sight right here, or yeah, this sensor, and then this part right here also, which yeah, I don't know what is the purpose of this one. Okay, so that is the articulation of your GUF right here. So that's it. Here are the accessories of the GUF Custom. We have her first, the very awesome Gatling shield. It really stands out on its name because it's the literally shield with a Gatling gun. It has this 675mm Gatling gun, featured a cyclic 6-barrel design, which facilitated calling and synchronize the firing reloading sequence. This weapon grants the GUF Custom both offensive and defensive power in one single weapon. It also stores the Hit Sword D3, which will be our next accessories or weapon. The Hit Sword type D3, it needs color correction because in the manual, the sword blade should be darker in color than to its handle grip, but in my case, I just leave the colors as it is. I like the grayish blue color tone in it. This weapon is the main weapon of the GUF Custom. Its blade heated to high temperatures in order to increase its cutting capacity. Its great gimmick is that you can store this weapon within the Gatling shield with its handle sticking out from the top. Next is a 3-barrel 35mm machine gun. In the original GUF design, the left hand usually has this 5-fingered machine gun, but here it was replaced by a normal manipulator hand, and instead a removable 3-barrel 35mm machine gun can be mounted on the left forearm. It fires physical rounds at a rapid rate and is magazine fed with better ammunition and capacity. It also has a special mount on its rear to hold the Gatling shield. It also has an articulated scope that has this red metallic foil sticker and a little articulated armor on the other side. And last but not the least, the heat wire. This is a good take-off on the original GOUF's tentacle heat rod, for it is short and limited in range. The heat wire has a magnetic grappler mounted on a thin cable, allowing the right forearm to store a much greater length of heat wire and giving the weapon a much greater reach. As we know that the GOUF Custom has the small size of foil sticker, as I mentioned it earlier. I used two stickers on the mono eye and on the scope of the 3-barrel 35mm machine gun, but it still has these parts that needs a color correction. First were the boosters or burners on the backpack. To get its anime accurate detail, you need to paint it red on its inside parts. Then the next one is the protruding circular part of the Gatling shield, which out of the box it is on sky blue. But in order to get its anime accurate detail, you need to color it on gray or in gunmetal black. I even forgot to paint this and was able to correct it when I was writing the script. And it's better to apply panel line on this kit. Will it give much more help to reveal its entire look and pop out those curves and sharp detail of the kit. GOUF Custom is a very amazing kit. It's a rare refresher for me, for I am building more Gundam units than any grunt suits and mono-eyed units. Its gimmicks were great, especially the Gatling shield. I really love it. Those hoses on the waist which you need to bend to a specific part in order to attach it on the backpack were also a nice idea, but yeah, it hinders some articulation, especially on the waist and up crunch. But articulation was a little bit disappointing, but to consider it's a decade in age, it's justified. All the cons that you may find will be covered by its awesomeness once displayed. But in the end, as usual, it still depends on you as a builder on how you will interpret or improve this kit at its best. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please do consider to like, share, comment, subscribe, and please hit that notification bell so that you'll be informed for my next videos. So there will be more Gunpla and some other toy reviews that we'll have on this channel. Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you so much. Good morning, good noon, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Jake De La Paz signing off. Gunblubber Show signing off. Bye.